Hello, welcome Solex Nation. You know what? Today is the day. And what is the day for?
Yeah, today's the day to run your reports.
That's right.
We did this last month. Many of you took advantage of it. If you're going to do something today as far as understanding what's going on, if you're a QLA and running your business, today's the day to go into your back office and go into the business section, under the reports, under the quick reports, and to at least pull your direct report, right? You want to pull that direct report and make sure you export it. If you do anything, just do those steps, then you've saved and recorded what's going on in your team.
And why do they want to do that?
Well, so exporting it at least is going to save it to your back office. And then you can have the option to download it whenever you want.
Because you can't get this report next month. Once it's gone, it's gone.
These reports are in real time. And so that's why I say today's the day. We don't necessarily, if you're trying to figure out what's going on in your team, who to work with, who to help, that information is going to be available. But as soon as the month closes, as soon as it ends, it's a new month and you get a new set of data with those reports. So if you're going to do it, great. Today's the day to do it. You're going to pull that report. That's
right. You know, a question that has come into our customer support quite a few times has been actually about this little fun thing on the 660 band box. Now this is a QR code.
Yeah, and we've used those in quite a bunch of different places in order to access information. We'll continue to use those. The trick is, how do you use them?
There are people that are not sure how to use a QR code. So what you do is
you open up your camera, any camera, your cell phone, the camera on your cell phone, anything that has a data connection, and you actually put the spotlight on the QR code. And then as the camera's focused in on the QR code, it's going to highlight it. And when it highlights it, you could just click on that. It's going to open up a web page that gives you more, in this case, more information about the 660 band. Videos, other content, other explanations.
That's right. So QR codes are great, and now you know how to use them if you didn't know how to before. And we've all been there. Don't be embarrassed if you didn't know how. I didn't know how to use one a while ago, and you had to teach me. Yep. So thanks for teaching everyone now.
No, well, hopefully you understood.
Now this is the last week for our April incentive. Do you want to tell them what that incentive is?
Yeah, that incentive is for QLAs. You can enroll this month for free when you have a qualifying purchase. What's a qualifying purchase? When you enroll with a device and a subscription.
That's right.
That $49 licensing fee, membership fee, is waived.
And then what do you get?
And then both the QLA or a new preferred customer, when you enroll the same way with the device and the subscription, you will get a $50 coupon sent to you that you can use within 30 days of receiving it.
Yes.
You'll get to use that for something that you like.
That's right. So remember, if you've received a coupon, you have 30 days upon receipt to use it. So if you still have one sitting there, go use it. You want to get that done. Now, next week is May, and we have a new incentive for May.
Yeah, in May, it's an everyone's win. Everyone wins
That's
incentive, right? And we're focusing on Ionex Gold, one of our very first products we ever came out with. This is the fulvic acid product. This product is available. In fact, you know what? We have a video on fulvic acid.
Let's show it.
I think so.
Okay.
Ionex Gold is one of my favorite products that we've come out with, and it continues to be that, even though we've come out with so many wonderful additional products.
Yeah.
I love fulvic acid and the benefits in the body. Now, who wins? Who wins? Anybody who newly enrolls with a qualifying purchase, you will get Ionex Gold sent to you as a part of your enrollment order.
That's right.
The enroller also wins, because everybody wins in this one. The enroller, if you enroll 1, 2, 10 people this month, at the end of the month, we're going to bundle those all together and send that package of all those Ionex Golds, all that fulvic acid to you at the end of the month.
I have no doubt that there will be bundles of 10 that are going to be sent out, because I know that happened with SEFIdots. So.
Yes, and we get that every month.
We do get that every month. Yes.
So there's 2 more giveaways that we want to give, that we have as far as our
Let's remind them, for this quarter.
So if you enroll 3 people or more,
April, May, and June.
Yeah, during the quarter, you're going to get a $100 coupon as the enroller toward whatever product you want, except for
Subscription,
and
Solex University.
right? Now, if you enroll 6 people with a
this
device
is fun.
and that subscription successfully runs, you are going to be a part of an exclusive test group. Now, every day of discovery, we relaunch new products, at least one new product. And you'll be a part of a test group for what actually is going to happen in September. We're lining up. We're going to send you some unnamed product. We're going to give you a little bit of the supplement facts, of course, because we have to tell you what you're taking. But you get to be part of this exclusive group that gets to test it and try it before anybody else does. And so if you get 6 or more.
Keep it quiet and not tell everybody what it is because you got it because you're special.
Yes.
So that's
everybody's special.
Everyone's special. Everyone's special. April, May, and June. Those, if you enroll 6 people, you're part of that test group. Now, last week we had a contest, like usual, and we asked you to go on to our YouTube channel and to say how you introduce AO Scan. Now, this is so helpful. I think that is one of our top requests. How do I introduce this technology? Yes. How do I talk about it? And it was so wonderful. You haven't had a chance to read those. Go read those. Everyone has a different perspective and a different way to come at this, and we love to read them. So we're going to give away
Alpha 3 passes.
Alpha 3 passes to 3 people. You get 6 Alpha 3 passes if we draw your name. And Alpha 3 passes are a 3-day pass that you can send to somebody new and they can try out the technology for those 3 days. So it's a great way for people to have a taste of the AO Scan technology. Okay, first one is Lee Malden. AO Scanner works with frequency. Our brain recognizes frequency that is out of sync in our bodies. AO Scan uses frequency to make up frequency sequence to help put our body in balance.
I love how that was said. Our brains do understand it.
Yes.
They completely get it. Whether we consciously are aware of what we're understanding, the brain is always in motion. It's always acting and responding to what's going on in the body.
That's right.
And sometimes we are aware of it and sometimes we're not. Wonderful. Okay. Next one, D&D Turner. I usually ask if I can show them an amazing machine that gives us information about our body so that we can make health changes to take back our health choices and gain more energy and feel our best. That is true. I love that.
Take back our health choices.
Yeah.
I like that. Giving us the power.
D&D Turner, though, we need to
Deborah Turner.
Oh, Deborah Turner. Got it. She knew. She was ahead of me.
She's won before. That's how I know. Ooh, this is a big one. Ao Ma'at. I have learned so much from these calls by asking the right questions so I can pass the information on to family, friends, and potential clients. I tell them that the AO Scan is a device that provides information to help you balance your energy and understand more of how your emotions are related to wellness and how they affect your vital force. If it's an older child or a teen, I tell them that this device is a safer way without harmful radiation and being hooked up to machines to learn what they resonate with and what is out of harmony from head to toe, depending on how hydrated they are. If they're athletes, I tell them how the scanner can use energy to assist them in doing sports, exercising, thinking, studying, and sleeping. You know, I love how you have a different approach for different groups.
People.
I love that. Very smart. Well, thank you to all of you. All 3 of you will receive a 6-pack of Alpha 3 passes, and those will populate to your scanner.
Yep. Congratulations. Glad, great input as well. So many great ideas actually in those calls. If you hadn't had a chance to go read them, I'd go back and read the different ways that people introduce the scanner.
Yes. Now, I think there are people that are putting how to explain the AO Scan technology to really good use because we have our top enrollers, and this is for the week of?
April 17th to 23rd.
Yes. Now, we have a tie for second place.
Of course we do.
And the first one is?
Denise Schneider is on that list.
Belinda Billinghurst.
Paige Wheeler.
And the Detox Girls.
Congratulations, all of you. Well done. Worked so hard and great being so close to first place.
Oh, that's rude.
I know.
You did a great job. Being second place is a big deal. With the amount of people that were recruited this week, you were second place. That's amazing. And the top spot goes to?
Krista Bigler. Congratulations, Krista. Well done. Great job.
Krista, you have been on fire. We are so proud of you. You recruited quite a few people this week, and we are going to send you a Solex silver coin. So congratulations to all of you, and we are going to go ahead and turn the time over to Loran.
Well, here we are at the end of April. Another call, another Wednesday coming by, and some more questions. And these are really, it is, and we say this all the time, but it is so true. The questions that are coming in are really well thought out questions. And so it makes us think and makes us have to put our hats on to answer these questions. But I'm going to go through some of these today and maybe have to catch some of them next week as well. This first one that came up is can I do too many frequencies? Can I send too many frequencies at the same time? She says, the question is I scan a lot of people in my family multiple times, and then I send them their harmonics and I send them SEFIs. And the question is can I overdo it? Am I overdoing it? And the answer to that question is probably not. So here's the only time when we are scanning and optimizing, and of course we all know how important those two are to go together, is when you're sending frequencies that are canceling each other out. For example, somebody that's needing some frequencies to help their insomnia, and you're also sending them frequencies to give them some energy during the day. Those two are going to cancel. So the most important thing is when you're looking at what you're sending and the frequencies that you're broadcasting, make sure that they're compatible with one another. The beauty of frequency, especially those that we're broadcasting, is if the body doesn't need them, they just reject them. You can't overdose on it. So again, just use some common sense. Make sure that the frequencies that you're sending are compatible. You'll be fine. Okay, so it's not you overdo. The other question that came in, and this is a really sharp one. Why is it I have all my chakras are in reds, 1s, and 9s, but all my meridians are in the green? They're perfect. Good question. So let's take that down. I look at the chakras and the meridians like the chakras are like your circuit breaker panel in your house with all the little circuit breakers. And the meridians are like the wiring that goes through the house. So your wirings can be perfectly fine. No blockages, no cuts in the wires. But a circuit breaker's flipped. Maybe we had too much stress, or we had some dietary issues that came in. What we want to do is make sure that we're doing the things to keep our circuit breakers open, our chakras open, allowing that energy to flow here. And the meridians are the wiring. So that's why you can have one or the other out of balance and the others are in balance. Just look at them, two totally different systems, the breakers and the wiring. Okay, so that's that one. This question here is, if we're scanning a woman who's pregnant, how does the scanner know between the infant, the unborn infant, and the mother? Because there are two humans and they're two separate frequencies. And this comes back to your profile. Your profile is your signature. Imagine you carrying two cell phones. You have one cell phone has one number, and you have another cell phone. I carry two cell phones sometimes because for different reasons and purposes and businesses. But when one rings, it doesn't cause the other one to ring. Same with the pregnant mother and the unborn infant. That unborn infant has its own number, and it hasn't been set up in the profile. So when you're scanning the mother, the only frequencies that it's going to recognize, now it doesn't mean that it's not going to see these other frequencies. The only frequencies it's going to recognize are those of the profile, which would be the mother. Which brings up another point. Can we scan the unborn infant? And the answer to that is yes. Now, how do we do that? The infant's not born yet. We don't have a picture of it. We don't have a voice signature from him. So it'd be more like doing a scan on a place or a thing, okay? You would identify the infant as its own profile. Now you can scan the infant in the mother. Now keep in mind, not everything's going to be fully developed yet, so not all of the scans going to be as detailed or as complete as it would be on the mother. But that's how it knows, because again, when we're scanning, it's very specific to the frequency that we've identified in the profile. Okay, but a great question. Love that question. Okay, next question is, what's the best way to imprint the quantum flowers? Now, if you look at the Bach flower or the Australian flowers or the California flowers that you can buy in the marketplace, the base for those is a brandy and spring water blend. And it's about 24 to 26% brandy and 70 some odd percent spring water. So when I make my Bach or my quantum flowers here, I will buy some brandy and I will get good spring water and I will blend the same. And I generally do 26% brandy and 74% spring water. Now remember, you're only doing drops. So that little bit of alcohol. And the reason that they use alcohol, whether it's brandy or vodka, and those are generally the most common used in tinctures, is because it helps hold the frequency's integrity longer. You can do it in just straight water. You can do it in sucrose pellets. You can do it on SEFIdots. But if you want to be as pure as possible as the original ones that are on the market, it would be a brandy spring water mix, okay? And so I hope that answers that question. And for those of you who are very committed to not have any alcohol, then you would just use water. Just know that you're going to want to use that tincture as quickly as possible. Now, with the scanner, that's easy. You literally could get a little ounce cup, fill it with water, put it on your scanner, program the appropriate flower, imprint it, and then drink it. But to put a frequency in just a water base is not going to hold that frequency's integrity very long. Like I say, the alcohol in there, if you take cough medicine, you're getting alcohol. And if you eat a lot of sugar, you're getting alcohol because it converts to alcohol in your system. So think about the reason you're using it and why. This question here, this next question, I really like this question, and it's a difficult one for us to answer. It's, can you explain chromosomes and the detox phases 1 and 2 of the liver? All right, so as you know, or most of you know, this scanner, its beginnings were from Russia. The Russian engineers that were developing this scanner in the late 80s, early 90s are the ones that came up with these. And unfortunately, when they left their research posts on the development of this, the one thing that they took with them was the detail on the chromosomes. On the phases liver and 1, Alice Jaharain has answered that one. And I would recommend that you go back and look at what she's mentioned on that, because it's a little too long for here. But on the chromosomes, all we know is that there's imbalances in some of those chromosomes. We're working on a document that you'll be able to find in your back office or on the blog soon that will list all of the elements that are associated to each chromosome. And when that goes up, we'll let you know. And that's the best thing we can do. But there's just so much information on the chromosomes, and especially the markers within those chromosomes, that we just don't know. And so you would have to be looking, if a chromosome comes up and some of the markers in that chromosome come up out of balance, then you're going to want to do the research on that chromosome and see, okay, these are the elements associated with that chromosome, and see if any of those symptoms apply to you, and then look at the rest of your scan. Not a great answer, but it's the best one we can give to you at this moment. This next question, I really like this question, and it's come up several times in the Facebook group. How come, if there's a known issue, and in this case, a knee issue, and there's inflammation, you can see it, and there's pain, and when we do the scan, it doesn't come up with anything wrong with the knee? And at first look, you say, well, the scanner must be wrong. There must be something wrong. And there isn't anything wrong. But remember what the scanner's looking for. And this is important, so please listen to this. What the scanner's looking for is the root cause, not the symptom result. Okay, we're looking for the cause. So the knee itself in this case is probably not the root cause. There might be something else that happened, maybe in the lumbar area that got a pinched nerve, or maybe there's a clot somewhere that caused, and so it's manifesting it in the knee. But if I just dealt with the knee, I'm not dealing with the issue. And so the scanner is always looking for the root cause, the frequencies that are the furthest out of balance. And it could be totally unrelated to the knee, the back, the leg, but the knee's the one that's having, in this case, is the one that's showing the symptom. We want to deal with the root cause, and that's why the scanner will show that. It looks like that's an answer to try to avoid what's really happening, but it's the truth. We're looking for the root cause. I had knee surgery done on my knee 6 or 7 years ago. And when everything was said and done, we found out that the problem wasn't the knee to begin with. It was lumbars 3 and 4 were causing the problem in my knee, but we thought that the knee was the issue. But it was my back. Now, I had no pain or discomfort in my back, but I couldn't walk on my left leg. And so this one I can relate to really well because I literally thought the scanner had misread it. But it was, and when I went back and looked at the lumbar, there it was. I had pinched disc and herniated disc, and they were the one causing the problem with the knee. So when you see something like this, and I said, well, that's not where I hurt, or I'm hurting here and this isn't showing up, then you need to look a little deeper. Take a look at your report. Where am I out of balance, and how can it be causing that to affect something else? So always we're looking for the root cause, not the symptoms. The scanner doesn't look for symptoms. Here's another good question. It says here, how many homeoenergetics or other frequencies can you put into a ring or into a sugar pellet or into a SEFIdot? It's a good question. The number of how many you put in isn't as critical as the compatibility of those that you're putting in. Okay, so making sure that all of those frequencies you're putting in are compatible with one another is way more important than the number. And you're going to get a different answer from different people, and they're all right. None of them are wrong. For me, I am really simple. I like 1 to 5 frequencies in what I put on. I think it's easier to focus on those. But if you go down to your health food store and you buy the homeopathics on the shelf, you'll see as many as 15 to I saw one that had as many as 30 different remedies in there, 30 different frequencies. To me, that's too much. That's like the shotgun approach. I like more of the sniper approach. And so I'll use less. I think less is more for me. Now, you'll have other people that'll tell you, homeopathic physicians will tell you that that's not necessarily the case. And I think they're as equally right as I am. So find your preference. You find what resonates with you. Another thing that comes along with this is there was a question about the SEFIdots and how we can lengthen the use or the time that we can use SEFIdots. It's not recommended. The SEFIdots are silicon with a small foil, and they're picking up energy just like we imprint it from our phone. It's picking up energy all the time. And it's always right here on your system, on your body, picking up those energies from you and other people. So it's really best, use your SEFIdot, 72 hours, throw the disc away. Put a new disc on. It's fresh, it's clean, imprint it with what it's needing. Sugar pellets are a little bit different. Your Cybin rings and your necklaces, they're different because they have other components like Cybin in them. But SEFIdots were designed and are best if they're used for 72 hours at a time. I hope that kind of answers both those questions. Along the lines of the SEFIdots, there's another couple questions that have come in. I think I'd like to address those as well. It says here, can we use other frequencies on the SEFIdots other than the ones just listed in the SEFIdot section? And the answer is yes. In fact, if you're working with yourself or a client, take that SEFIdot and just set it on your scanner device as it's doing its optimizations. Let it bring in all those optimizations from the scan, as well as any of the other frequencies that you find in quantum reach or quantum affirmations. or any of the programs. Plus, you can use your frequencies for your flowers, all of those. The SEFIdots, they don't care what frequencies you put on those. And they'll hold as many as you want to put on there as long as they're compatible. And so I love putting them on during the optimizations because those are frequencies that are specific to what I need right now, and they are all compatible. So if you put those on there and then you add something like a quantum reach frequency or one of the SEFIdot frequencies or a flower frequency, those are all compatible. Those are great to use. So yeah, use your SEFIdots anywhere you can imprint something. Again, we want to keep the SEFIdot to just a 72-hour period of time and then change that dot out. With the SEFIdots too, in your chart, if you're dealing with the SEFIdot section, each one of those categories will come up with 4 or 5 suggested placements for the dot to go. But if you're uncertain, let's say that you didn't do one of the SEFIdot frequencies, you did a quantum affirmation or you did just your optimization frequencies, there's 2 places that are always safe. One is the space right here on your wrist called the Shenmen. Right there is where your 2 lines are between your wrist. That's a great location, or right on your sternum. Both of those are great locations for the SEFIdots if you're not sure where you want to put it, or you're doing a frequency that didn't have a suggestion. So those 2. Another question that has come in is this individual says, I have a client that just had a stroke and is unable to enunciate, can't speak. So how's the best way to do an inner voice? Well, the beauty of inner voice is it doesn't necessarily need to be the words that you speak. For example, we've got people who do inner voice on their horse, on their dog, on their cat. Well, they don't speak, but they make utterances. They make sounds. A dog will bark, a cat will meow. Horses have their sounds. If you've got someone who is inaudible, in fact, even more to the point, we had one of our QLAs with a child that cannot speak. And all they would do is hold the device up to the mouth, and whatever utterances came out of his mouth over that 10 seconds was recorded. And that was able to pick up the frequencies that he was out of balance and the changes it has made in his life. In fact, it's on one of our older videos that you should go back and watch. But so someone in this case with a stroke who can't speak, if you'll just hold it there and whatever sound or breathing, whatever it is that they can make, that's being recorded and we're picking up frequencies, you'll be absolutely amazed at how detailed that information will be. And it'll show you the emotions that they're feeling. And remember, they're still feeling those emotions even though they can't voice them. And to be able to listen to those frequencies. So it doesn't matter that they speak words. You just need that utterance, that breathing for that 10 seconds of time. Wonderful question. And I'm anxious to see how that client responds. Now, I want to end on two questions that I really think are fascinating. And it's about insects and bites, cockroaches and ants. Now, we're in that time of year where all that stuff, at least in the northern hemisphere, that stuff is starting to become a plague again. So I'm going to read these. It says, I have ants and roaches in my kitchen. I have noticed that when I use the SEFI insecticide, ants and roaches, they seem to run away, and it runs for a couple days, or 1 to 2 days. They seem to scatter and they're just not there as often. Is it killing them off? No, it's not killing them off, but it does drive them nuts. I'll give you an example. We had a pest control company that wanted to know if we could generate a frequency for bed bugs, because bed bugs are an incredibly difficult pest to get rid of. They can hide anywhere. They can go forever without having to take a bite, but they just keep coming back. And so we did some experiments with some frequencies, and they sent us a little vial with, a dozen bed bugs in it. And we put it in a box because none of us wanted them to get out of that vial. We put them in this box and we just started broadcasting frequencies. And we came across some frequencies that made those things just go nuts. They were all over in that little vial, back and forth. Instead of just sitting there, they were agitated. It didn't kill them, but it definitely agitated them. So yeah, there is, we all are affected by frequency, whether it's a human being, an animal, or even in this case, a pest. So yeah, they're wonderful. The other question along that same line is, I also use SEFI bites and insects, and I don't get bites from insects. What's happening here is the frequency driving them away. Again, it's back to that same, the same. We don't want to be where we're feeling uncomfortable. I've used the analogy before. Have you ever walked into a nightclub or a restaurant or where there's music playing, and you walk in and the music's playing and you are within seconds looking for the door? You're just not at ease. Or you walk into a place where the music just kind of takes you to a happy place, and you'll sit down and you'll spend all day there. And the only difference there was the frequency of that music that made you either like and want to stay there or to get away. And it's the same with insects, bugs, animals. And if you've ever played with your SEFI and you have pets at home, you'll find that on certain frequencies, your pets will actually come over and want to be right next to your SEFI as it's putting out those frequencies. So until next week, thanks for your time.
Well, we're at the end of another week.
We are.
It's time for giveaway time.
Yeah.
Last week, this week, obviously, you did this great Q&A. And last week, you did a wonderful interview with Tammy Ward on homeopathy.
And she had so much good information, too, didn't she?
Yeah. If you haven't seen that and don't know much about that, last week's a great video to go back to in order to catch up on that. Okay, so in that, Tammy said that there's some unique ways and solutions she's found through homeopathics.
Yep.
Why don't you share with us, as you've tried or what you hope to try, what are some of the unique ways in which you've used homeopathics? And maybe some of the benefits that you found from it. And I think we can give away something right along the lines.
I think we can, too. I'm thinking maybe we could do the sucrose pellets.
Oh, the sucrose pellets. The sucrose
with the
pellets.
foil box. And the thing is we're going to do not just one, we're going to do the whole box of 25.
Yep.
So 3 people are going to get the whole box of 25 with 25 boxes. But make sure you put those comments in the YouTube part, not during the live.
Yeah, not during the live chat. Hang on just a minute. Make those comments in just a minute. Why do we have the foil line box?
Foil line box is going to protect the pellets and the imprint on the pellets from any of the EMF around. But even with the box, you should still keep it away from any type of electronics or out of the direct sunlight.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so 3 people next week. 25 count of the sucrose pellets with the foil line boxes. Comment on this call right after the live chat. Comment on the call and let us know how you plan to use or do use homeopathics and what maybe some of the results you get.
Okay, now last week our contest was...
Well, before that, actually, I have 2 more giveaways.
Cut!
Without the necklace, just sitting right here on their chat, on their right. We screwed that up big time.
Are you gonna end that?
He's going to edit it. I'm not going to do that.
Sorry about that one.
I think we need to do a giveaway along the lines of that.
I agree.
Yep. And I don't remember what we're going to have you do.
We did choose something! Oh my God!
We just did. We just talked.
No, that's the giveaway.
That's the giveaway. What are we going to do?
Oh, as you were talking,
And I'm like,
Oh, my word. How did we screw that up?